Hello everyone. So today we are going to be looking at doing symmetrical drafts for complex shapes, and we are going to be using the divide face command to do this, as well as draft by edge. So here you can see a shape with unusual curves. By that I mean they're not defined by specific arcs, but rather by splines that we have created in a previous video. I will link it in the description down below. And now we are going to try to draft it symmetrically. If you picture this to be a clamshell stamping, as being the end goal, you would have one side being stamped from the top, so it will have a draft in one direction, whereas the bottom will be stamped from the opposite direction from the bottom. So you will need to have opposing drafts. So what we're going to do is we are going to need to put a split line down on these faces, 1, 2, and 3, and a split line on the opposing side as well. In order to do that, we are first going to handle this simpler section of the body, which is just a block. We can use a datum plane and set it to bisector, and then we click on the top face and the bottom face to create a datum plane that's right in the middle. I'll hit apply, and while I have the dialog box open, I might as well do the other side as well. There we go. Now we will use our divide face command. I've already typed it in here. You might want to add it to your ribbon up on top if you use it a lot. I normally do, but I reset my screen, my displays, to make it more of what you might see. Anyway, we select the two faces that we want divided, and we select the object that is doing the dividing as the datum plane. Hit apply, and you can see the faces have been divided on both sides. Now we do the same thing on the other side over there. Make sure that when you're doing this that your filter here is set to single face, by the way. And tool option is the other datum plane, and hit OK. So now those parts are ready, but the section in the middle is going to be a little bit more complicated. To do a smooth line there, you will need a spline. So I'm going to go to the curve ribbon, select Studio Spline, and we are going to select the point right over here and the point right over there as our start and finish points of the spline. Now for point 1, I'm going to select continuity type as tangent, and I'm going to specify the tangent as our existing split line since we already have it. And now for point 2, I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to specify the tangent as that existing split line. You see it went to the other direction, so I'm going to flip it so that it looks right, and hit apply. And you can see there's our spline right there. Now we'll do the same thing for the other side. And one thing I'd like to point out is that it's easy to click because we already have this split line here, so it's easy to find that point there. But if you didn't have the divide face there, you could still do it. For example, you can see down here, my cursor does want to snap to the midpoint there. You can do it that way and snap to the point there, and it will still work. So just something to point out, that you don't have to do it this way, but it is easier. When you do your continuity type, it's of course easiest to select the line here since we have it, but if you did not have a line there, you can still manage without it. What you would do is you'd go to specify tangent and select your vector dialog box. You would select 2 points. Your first point would be the midpoint here, which again in our case corresponds to this line, and the 2 point would be the midpoint on the other side over there, and then hit OK, and you would still be able to get your tangent even without clicking on that line. So it's quite handy. But of course, since we do have the line, it's easier to just use it. So I'll go back to that and just select that line right over there. I have to reverse the tangent to make it nice and straight. hit OK. Now we have two splines that match the shape that we need. So next step will to create a surface going through those split lines. I'll use through curves, the regular one, not the mesh, because we only have 2 lines. We don't need to bound it by 4 lines. And we will see what that looks like. Oh, you know what? I accidentally clicked the second line when really we should click Add New Section, the plus sign, and then select the second spline. Now you can see it's twisted up. To untwist it, you hit reverse direction, and there we go, nice and straight. Now our sheet body is inside, and we want to make sure that it definitely penetrates the outer faces where we want to put our split lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to temporarily hide the body that we are working on, and I'm going to use the extend sheet function, and I'm going to click on the edges there and just drag them out to make sure that it definitely penetrates. Now hit OK. So now that sheet is extended, it's extra long. I can actually hide the splines, you can see how wide it is. And now I bring back our original body and we can see it sticking out. So now, once again, we go to divide face, and sometimes you can select both of these faces, sometimes it doesn't like it, so I'm going to do it one at a time to make sure that it works, because it can be a little glitchy if you do 2 faces at a time with these complex shapes. The tool will be this this sheet that we put down. I'm going to hit apply, and bam, there you go, our faces are split. Now let's go to the other side. The face that we want to divide is this one. Now, since we already used up, so to speak, that through curve sheet, it's not showing up, but it actually is still there. All we have to do is click on through curves down here. You don't even have to show it, you can just click it in the hidden form. It will still select, and you can see the preview, it's the line is coming up. Then you can hit OK, and there you go. You have our perfectly smooth split lines coming up on both sides. So now finally, what have we been working towards? To do that draft that we wanted. So now we select draft, and we want to draft by edge. So first we need to specify the direction of the draft that we want. Now you want it to be one direction. It kind of depends on your tool that you're using, your actual stamping tool or whatever it is that you're doing. Let's say it was straight up. Then you would potentially either click one of these arrows, or maybe you'd click this face. So let's use that just as the example. For the edge now, you would make sure tangent curves is selected, and you would select that curve right over here, and look at that, there is your draft on that edge. And you can actually select multiple curves at a time, so you can draft both sides. We're going to do just a regular 10-degree draft. Hit apply, and now we're going to do the same thing, but from the other side. So vector, we're going to go down this time, and we're going to again select the same curve, and you can see us angling that down. So now you have your complex shape drafted in 2 directions, split perfectly down the center, which is exactly what you might want for a clamshell design. In another video, we'll go over actually creating this into a stamped shape, and maybe doing some overlaps on the clamshell. Until then, thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please click the like button and subscribe. And if you have any comments or questions, please don't hesitate to put it in the comment box below. Thanks. Bye.